Hi guys! Taglish tayo today. Just because, okay? Today, I'm going to film my mid-year wrap-up. Ganito na lang. Because the last time I filmed a book discussion was 5 months ago. It was Albert Camus' The Stranger. I've read 9 books since. As much as I want to make a separate video for each, tinatamad ako. So, here we are, filming it all in one video. These are the 9 books that I read since. It's a good reading year for me. Compared to last year na almost all of the books I read was a disappointment. This year, kalahati pa lang ng taon, and yet, I loved all of the books that I read. If you look at this selection, most of this, if not all, is philosophy. Umiikot lang siya sa philosophy, philosophical fiction, religion, and history. Yun lang. Okay, let's start now. The 3-star books. So, for medyo, tayo ngayon, controversial kasi, again, this is my personal opinion. Ganun naman when you read, like, not necessarily the books I like, you would like. But these 2 books, I gave 3 stars kasi hindi sila nag-resonate fully. May mga konting hindi naabot. But they're still really good books. Nothing wrong with them. It's The Short Introduction to Religion by Gordon Kerr. Binili ko to sa book fair last year pa sa festival tent in Alabang. I don't know why that's relevant. But my point is, random ko siyang binili. I've been reading a lot of history books, and one of the main takeaway that I got from reading a lot of history books is that religion is pretty much history. So naturally, after reading so much religion books, after reading so much history books, I gravitated towards reading religion books. I gave this 3 stars kasi may kulang or medyo deceptive yung title for me or hindi niya naabot yung expectation ko. Naghahanap ako ng introductory book na i-explain niya yung main theme or main ideology per religion. So, sun-centered yung religion na yun. Nag-focus more on the history ng religion or yung origin ng religion. So, sana yung title na lang niya is Short History of Religion, not Short Introduction to Religion. Yun lang. But other than that, okay naman siyang introductory book if naghahanap ka ng mas focus sa origin ng mga religions of the world. Yung next na book, medyo questionable or at least debatable kasi a lot of people love this book. In fact, it was recommended many times. And I actually thought na may love ako sa author and the book itself. Pero hindi eh. I don't know. Hindi kami nag-connect. There's something about his writing style, or maybe it was the translation, but something just kulang. Hindi siya talaga nag-meet. This is Franz Kafka's The Trial. Okay, so, dalawa lang yan eh, for me. Either nag-connect ako sa author when it comes to his writing style, or yung drama niya, or yung story itself. Pag wala yung dalawang yon, hindi ko talaga gusto yung libro. With The Trial, hindi niya na-hit both. Na-appreciate ko yung story niya and the message behind it, the philosophy behind it. Pero, alam ko na kasi, so hindi na ako parang na-wow. And when it comes to philosophical fiction or philosophy books, yun yung hinahanap kong factor. Kaya ang dami ko nang nabasa. And I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the room, pero dahil marami na akong nabasa, of course, mas exposed na ako sa mga topics na, common. And yung topic dito, naging common na lang siya to me. Parang na-bored ako dahil alam ko na yung ibig niyang iparating, yung ibig niyang sabihin, or or yung message ng story. Also, like I said, yung first reason, hindi ako nag-connect sa author. Hindi ko yun ma-explain. Maybe chemistry lang siya, pero wala talagang chemistry, walang spark. So because of those two reasons, I give this 3 stars. Pero because of its significance in literature, I gave this a fair 3 stars. Okay, next section. The books that I love. The first 5-star book is another Nietzsche. This is The Will to Power. Medyo makapal siya. Sa lahat ng Nietzsche book na nabasa ko, ito yung pinakamakapal. And I think because gusto ko yung topic, I've always been interested in books like this, like Will to Power, The Prince, 48 Laws of Power, The Art of War, yung mga ganung type of books. Interested na talaga ako. So, naturally, matatapos ko siya. Medyo kalat-kalat yung mga topics dito. Medyo incohesive sila. And then I realized na parang collection lang to ng notebooks ni Nietzsche. Post-death, na nakita nila somehow. So it makes sense. Ang dami kong nakuhang idea from this book na either one, bago, or iteration ng alam ko na, pero mas in-explain niya better. Both of those nakuha nito. One particular instance na na-amaze ako is when Nietzsche gave an advice of some sort sa mga readers or followers niya. But he does not wish them continued blessings. I'm paraphrasing. But instead, he wishes them struggles and challenges in life in the hopes that in that process, they remain firm, or in other words, they become stronger. And he also believes that you cannot become good if you do not know bad. Otherwise, pilit lang. You have to know both aspects, both end of the spectrum to decide who are you. When I was reading books about writing, I forgot which book it was, pero sabi dun sa book, create a backstory for your villain because every villain has a backstory. No one is born bad. So there are circumstances that led them to become the way they are. And so when you see someone good, despite everything he's been through, that's his choice. Or maybe, in other people's eyes, they may be considered good by societal standards. Basta ang daming diniscuss sa book na to, hindi ko siya recommended for a first-time reader of Nietzsche. The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. Finally, nabasa ko na siya. Matagal ko nang gustong basahin to. I first bought a copy when I was in high school. Pero hindi ko siya naintindihan. Hindi ko siya na-absorb. And I DNF'd it. So finally, I think I'm at that age and in the mindset to read a book like this and appreciate it for what it offers. Some of the things he said in this book is very brave and very radical. And if close-minded ka, i-judge mo lang, may inis ka lang, may inis din ako. So, wag na lang. But this book is very political. Okay, so, they have similarities. And I read these books back to back. So, medyo nag-mix yung nabasa ko. Pero this is more political power. And this is more existential power, more introspective, more philosophy. This is more political. The Prince. Okay, ang dami rin niyang diniscuss dito na na-amaze ako. First time ko siyang narinig. Again, remember, those two things na na-amaze ako is either alam ko na, pero in-explain siya in a better way, o hindi ko pa alam, so na-amaze ako. So with The Prince, both. Yung alam ko na, hindi ko lang siya ma-formulate in my brain, and in-explain niya ng maayos. And second, ang dami niyang sinabi dito, the first time kong narinig, so na-amaze. What really struck me with this book is, one in particular, hindi ko na-explain lahat, ang dami niyang sinabi. Okay, two things. First, na-realize ko from reading both of these books is that for change to occur, it precedes destruction, total destruction. Chaos is important or inevitable to reach progress. So, kailangan munang magkaroon ng gulo before peace or before reformation. In the absence of war, yung chaos na yon, magre-reflect siya on some other needs. These three, okay, Venn diagram, nag-meet sila sa gitna. Yung pinaka-point nila is masisira yung religion, magkakaroon ng bago, papalitan yung luma. And then with okay, tapos na tayo sa The Prince, ang gulo. Moving on to another book, The History of the World in Bite-Sized Chunks by Emma Marriott. 4 stars. Maigsi lang siya. Very simple. Hindi siya punong-puno ng information unlike other summarized books about history na nabasa ko na jam-packed of information. Ito sakto lang. Enough information but with a breather in between. Ang natutunan ko dito, same thing. There needs to be distraction before a new regime or a new country to flourish. Kung babasahin mo to, ganun yung pagkaka-outline niya. Starts from the beginning, and then magkakaroon ng war, sinong pumalit, and then another regime, another dynasty. Tapos may papalit, papalit, sisirain. Ganun lang siya. It's a circle. So feeling ko, sa society ngayon, ganun din. We are headed to destruction. And we are living in a minuscule of a second. Hindi mangyayari yung change in our generation, I don't think. Nandun tayo sa katiting na segundo. When you zoom in sa timeline, nandun tayo sa maliit na part lang ng history. But we are heading to chaos. Entire chaos. Hindi lang chaos na nag-away or nagkainitan ng ulo. Chaos na mag-lead sa destruction, na mag-lead sa change. So yung change na hinahanap natin, I don't think it's gonna happen in the next 10 years. Mangyayari siya in the following generations to come. We're not gonna be there to see it, unfortunately. Moving on, Nikolai Gogol, Dead Souls. Russian literature, they write very good characters with layers of depth. It's like those Russian dolls na may layer upon layer upon. Baka doon nag-stem yun. This to me, comedy siya. Not like comedy na nakakatawa na nasa comedy bar ka, pero comedy in a way na satire, parang exaggeration of a society to explain society. Kung i-relate to sa modern age, para siyang mocking social media or yung mga aesthetics. Kasi ito, the main character, Chichikov, ano ang pangalan? Chichikov? I can't remember Russian names. Pero yung main character niya, he entered into this scheme, like frauding, may word bang frauding? Frauding rich people. So may nakakita siya ng loophole sa batas. He meets several people, rich people na naging part ng scheme niya na each of these people represented a personality. Yung balak niya is kung ano yung binibili niya from these rich people is exactly what it takes to seem like he's one of them. If you've watched Anna Delvey, yung nagpretend to be rich, na-push niya yon because before she actually became rich, she presented herself to be rich. So appearance comes before reality. Yun yung pinaka-storyline ng book na to. And again, medyo comedic siya for me. So very entertaining to read. The characters themselves, napakalalim niya. Ang dami mong matututunan per character. And probably, ma-relate mo sila sa mga people in your life. Candide, Voltaire. Very familiar si Voltaire. Lagi siyang nasa top 100 quotes of all time. So, na-curious ako and binasa ko yung book niya. It critiques the perception of yung everything at its best. Everything happens for the best. This author critiques exactly that. For me, ano lang siya, very simple yung wording, ang daling basahin, also ang nipis niya. Reminds me a bit of The Gift of Akbar by Ogden Pino. But he meets several people din dito sa story, which represents something. So very philosophical in that aspect. Pero in the end, ang point niya is you stop theorizing and just start living or start cultivating your farm. Yun lang, huwag kang mag-overthink. Yun lang yung pinaka-point. The next book, last book na rin pala. This one, 4 stars, The Nicomachean Ethics by Aristotle. Ang tagal kong binasa to, kasi very textbook siya. Ang hirap niyang basa, or ang hirap niyang intindihin. I feel like I'd appreciate this more kung may nagturo in a classroom setting. Tapos hindi siya binasa ng sunod-sunod and maybe hinati-hati siya in several courses. Kasi ang dami niya talagang laman. Many times while I was reading this book, I thought of DNFing it. But pinilit ko siyang tapusin just because. So dito sa libro na to, ang daming na-discuss. Happiness, virtue. Ang dami talaga. Pero one of the takeaways I got from this book is the concept of happiness. Sabi niya, happiness is the end goal. And kung hindi ka pa happy, then bro, it's not the end. Yun lang, yun yung point niya. Also that, he said, in the doctrine of the mean, nasa gitna si moral virtue and everything in excess and deficiency is a vice. Ganun siya magsalita so medyo kailangan mo siyang i-analyze and upuan and isipin. So again, I like it pero hindi ko siya na-enjoy. Ang hirap niyang basahin. Hindi ko siya babalikan. Pero if you're really looking to read ethics, morality, this is a good book to read. Although, mas prefer ko pa rin yung Genealogy of Morals ni Nietzsche. Although that one kasi more on religion side. Ito more on it in general. Okay, as I was editing that video, I realized nakalimutan ko yung isa. Ito lang ba? Ito lang. Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. Ito yung pinaka-central source of teachings ng Taoism. Mabilis ko lang itong pinasa. I read this in one sitting kasi para siyang prose, poetry. And the way it presented its ideas, para siyang always in paradox. Nagiging tunog poetry siya. And because of that, na-enjoy ko siyang basahin. Yung main teaching ng Taoism could be summarized as this. Go with the flow. Let nature take its natural course. Don't interfere. Yun lang. And I cannot say I agree 100%. Of course, it depends on the situation. There are times, of course, it's better to leave things as is. Pero other times, you also have to speak up, like what Nietzsche says. The best thing about reading at your own pace, at your own time, is that no one is forcing you to believe in anything. You could just read it and leave it as is. You don't have to be a believer of Taoism to read this book. So, ayun lang. I'm not saying magko-convert ako or whatever. It's just that, depende sa situation, may point naman siya. So anyway, 4 stars. Ang sakit na ng ulo ko. Ang dami kong sinabi. 30 minutes na to. So I'll end it here. Maybe I'll do a book haul next.